Why did black women hate Erykah Badu's views on R. Kelly? All that and more when we return. What's going on, man? Welcome to another episode of Wisely Confused, Sorely Mistaken. All right, and on today's show, all right, we're gonna cover the topic of why did black women hate Erykah Badu's views on R. Kelly. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this, man. All right, because this is very interesting. This is something that I came across when I was browsing the web. All right, and interesting thing about it is, I heard about it firsthand, actually. And I didn't know it was going to become viral. I should have known. Today's age, I mean, everybody has a camera, and especially when you're a social figure, musicians, anything like that. When these people start going on these stage rants, best believe somebody has that camera out, and they are recording every waking second of it, all right, in hopes that maybe they can get some clout, because everybody's clout chasing these days, right? Everybody's clout chasing, man. Hopefully you aren't a clout chaser, but if you are, man, hey, do your thing. But listen, I heard firsthand because I am here in Chicago, all right, and Erykah Badu is a figure in the black community, right? She has been for the last probably 20 years per se, and anytime she's traveling around, people want to catch her, they want to listen to her. She has soulful music, man. And me myself being a young black man, all right, young 30-year-old black man in America, in Chicago, we if you have any conscious bone in your body, right, during that age, where probably late teens to mid 20s, maybe late 30s for some people, you kind of get that twins of consciousness, all right, where you start kind of delving a little bit deeper into Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, and then it goes a little deeper, and you delve into Elijah Muhammad and Dr. Khalid Muhammad and then Neely Fuller and Claude Anderson, and you got your shea butter and your oils. You know how it goes, black people. All right, and your incense, and your weed. Can't forget that. All right. And these are the crowds who go and see Erykah Badu, because she makes music for these people, but she also specifically makes music for black women. All right. She is said to understand their struggle, all right, through her written poems with instrumentals on top. All right. She never did go as deep as far as Lauryn Hill. Blessed. All right. Lauryn Hill did the whole no beats thing. Erykah Badu has done that. Right. Her stuff is kind of usually soulful, which is why she has the fan base she does have. All right. So again, when she comes around, people go see it. All right. And she came to Chicago. And the very interesting thing about her coming to Chicago is Chicago, baby. And it's January. So what does that say? Snow. Wind, and the combination of the two, and the wind chill is a beast, and you got to have a coat from here for here. Shout out to the old Cat Williams, right? And this is the thing that she came to town, right? And this is the weather conditions, and people still came to see her, because they bought tickets beforehand. You never can know that there's going to be a snowstorm. But the roads were pretty salted. She came in late, so it had snowed early in the day before. So, Chicago's a big city. You have time to salt the roads and get everything prepared. So it wasn't too bad, especially if you're smart enough to Uber. You should definitely Uber. All right. And the venue was located on the north side of the city. All right. And most of her fan base, I'm sure, is from the south side of the city, west side of the city. I can almost bet my bottom dollar this is the case. All right, so they traveled for this. All right, so they took a hike, a journey through the the uncomfortable weather to go see Erykah, right? And they wanted to go see her music. They want, and the thing about this also, right? This is one of the things, man. People idolize Erykah Badu. Not just Erykah Badu, public figures, especially musicians in general. People idolize these people. And you live vicariously through them, and you become a fan, right? And a fan, as I'll explain a little bit later, so it's a love-hate relationship, right? And it quickly turns to hate the moment that person doesn't embody what it is that you think that they should be embodying, all right? And that's what happened in Erykah Badu's case. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, basically what happened is I was able to take a clip from the great TMZ, and it's going to show you exactly what went down at the concert. All right, so give me 1 second, and I shall set that up for you. So I can roll. All right, so you check it out, man, and we'll be right back with this in a second.
I don't know how everybody else feel about it, but I'm putting up a prayer right now for her. I hope he sees the light of day. If he's done all those things that we've seen on TV and heard those ladies talk about
20 years ago.
I hope
Y'all
he
knew
sees the light of
better.
day and goes
Come on
forward.
now.
No, Erykah. No.
What y'all say? Fuck him.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
That's not love.
Fuck him.
That's not unconditional love.
No, Erykah.
But what if one of the people that was
What?
All right, so let's go ahead and stop it for a minute, right? All right, so Erykah Badu, all right, the great Erykah Badu, she's on stage, and one of the things she says is, she's in prayer for R. Kelly, all right, and here's the crazy part about it. Erykah Badu has been praying for people for a very, very long time, all right? In her song, right, if you look at her song, right, her song, The Other Side of the Game, all right, which is about her family life and her dealings with a drug dealer, right, which is one of the things that, happens within the black community. There's a black market because of the lack of jobs, the lack of opportunities within the open market, the local market, as in, the job fields in these many inner cities where the black population do stay or do reside. They have to relocate to the black market, which is a drug game a lot of times. And with its many implications, they do anyway use this as a career method. And she expresses this in this song, The Other Side of the Game. And one of her famous lines, is one of the ones that gives you goosebumps, right? Gives your girls goosebumps. The women, the same women who turned on Erykah here, all right? She talks about the fact that through it all, she prays, all right? Through everything going on, all right? Through everything going on with the drug game and the family knowing that my man could go down, she's living a good life. And the only thing that she can do for this wayward brother in her life is pray. All right, and I got this clip. Hopefully, I had to change it up a little bit, throw a little echo on it, so hopefully I won't get flagged for it. But let's just throw it on. All right, listen to what she says. Play it a couple times. Why not? What'd you do, Erykah? Everything happened, and what'd you do? R. Kelly, for who? For the dude in the drug game? Right, for the world, or for hunger, for the government shutdown, for Donald Trump, Erykah prayed. All right. And here's the interesting thing about it, right? People were shocked by her response. That's one of her most famous songs. So when she said for R. Kelly, she prayed. I mean, she's known for praying. And I applaud her for that. Erykah gets a big round of applause for me because at the end of the day, what can you do but pray? All right. It's obviously she believes in a higher being than herself, which is the thing to do. I know society is teaching us to turn away from that as a collective, but black people, we know because we have a deeper connection to the Most High. We understand that all you can do at the end of the day, because MacTube, this is already written. It has been written. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to go through it. We've been built to survive it, which is a blessing, which points to more of the fact that, we are the people. We are those people that they mention in these books talking about the last days and things happening in that nature, which my man R. Kelly is going through. You know what I mean? I don't, number one, too. I mean, I know I have to give my personal, right, opinion on R. Kelly. I don't agree with anything that my man R. Kelly has done. Right? I can't fathom my man where his mind could be doing that. But now I do understand also now it has come to the attention of everyone that he was abused as a child by his older sister. All right. And it points into like the direction of all those serial killers, John Wayne Gacy, and countless others who had some type of psychological impairment, which caused them to attack people. And they didn't attack just random people. They chose specific people. And R. Kelly, one of the things they talked about in the documentary, and one of the things that's come to light, is a lot of his quote unquote victims all have the same type of characteristics, which points into the direction of this being something psychological, right? So if there's something psychological, which means it's hard to control, if you can control it at all, especially without seeking medical help, which he really needs. He needs a lot of medical help, which is what he really needs. But what you can really do for those people, the only thing that you can really do for these people is pray for them, because they got a problem, and that problem is very sick. All right, so that's my opinion on it. All right, but at the end of the day, like I said, this video is what? This video is about why did black women hate his response. They didn't want prayer for my man. All right, they didn't want prayer for him. They wanted Erykah Badu to get up there and go on a pro-woman, anti-black man hate rant. And Erykah Badu, from her body of work, she wasn't the one for the job. All right, but I'm gonna continue to play this, and let's finish this out.
What if one of the people that was assaulted by R. Kelly grows up to be an offender? We gonna crucify them? I mean, how do we do this?
No, this isn't happening, right?
It's just something to think about.
I'm dreaming.
I can't hear y'all talking at once. I can't.
Fuck R. Kelly! Word.
Cause they about to R. Kelly be the devil on the internet. I'm like, God dang.
Stop talking about it.
Yes, they
They
are.
about to build a wall to death.
Yes, they are.
I just want peace and life for everybody and healing for everybody.
I didn't know we were gonna do this.
I want peace and love and healing for everybody. That goes hand in hand with who Erykah Badu is and what her music is about. Crazy enough.
Healing for those who were hurt, because everybody involved has been hurt, victimized in some kind of way.
Oh no. Talk about.
Now listen to me. As a pro-black woman, a pro-black entertainer, everything about her is pro-black. She talking about victimization. I mean, here's the thing, right? Aren't black people, quote unquote, the victims of the world? I mean, even I'm guilty of this at times. I mean, our struggle is the struggle of being victims. But yet, you see, when she said that, everybody's like, no, Like, he doesn't go hand in hand with that. Crazy enough.
Killer vibe. Damn, didn't we talk about this in the bar? I didn't know she was gonna say this. No.
Let me see how I'm gonna spin out of this shit, because this is
Let's just keep it moving.
And she knows, right? I mean, she's a entertainer, and she knows she's a public figure. They have publicists and things of that nature. She understands that this is not going to be a good. Well, basically, the media is going to have a field day, starting with TMZ, which is where I got this video from. Right? They're going to have a field day on Erykah about this, man. And hopefully, you know, she's a strong woman. Hopefully, she's able to take those stones that will be thrown at her house. All right, but the thing about it is, my number one point is that's not what her audience wanted. All right, that's not what her audience wanted. They wanted, again, her to go on a pro-black woman, anti-black man rant. All right, they really wanted that. They really needed that from her. All right, they didn't need that from her, but that's what they were looking for. All right, and she didn't give them that, and of course, you know, they relinquished her, paid her back with lots of booze and things like that. And again, these people took a hitchhike to get there. All right, so again, they like, hold on a minute. Not only did I take a damn hitchhike to get here in Alaska type weather, but Erykah, you gonna be on stage and you gonna support my man R. Kelly. And again, here's the thing too, she wasn't even supporting him. Erykah Badu never said one time, I agree with what R. Kelly did, or I agree with what he's doing. What she did say, I'm going to pray for him. Just like she would pray for Tyrone and countless others mentioned in her songs. But I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting, to say the least. But let me find my music back. Put my music back on. All right. Let me turn it back down. Adjust that from the video. All right. Now, it reminded me of something too when, you know, her crowd reacted this way. If you ever watched a movie or Netflix, I watched it on Netflix or it was Amazon Prime, one of them, but it was The Handmaid's Tale, a very, very interesting show. I think the plot has something to do with the fact that there's some new political regime that comes into place. All the women are taken and put into some type of camp where they become the baby carriers, the surrogate mothers of the political men in power. And the men are killed. Well, the men who aren't the ones in power are killed. All right, so it's a very interesting show. But one of the things they do is when a man is accused, because, you know, there's political men in power who run the regime in place, but there are also workers, like guys who drive cabs and, you know, I guess the blue collar guys, and they aren't allowed access to women on a normal basis. I think maybe for rewards or something like that. I don't know how it works, but basically they aren't allowed to impregnate or penetrate any of the women. All right, so if they are found to do so, then it's automatically deemed a rape, or they're automatically deemed guilty, and they are basically, the women are run by this this huge butch woman, and she reminds me of like the villain Matilda. If you ever seen Matilda, I forgot her name, but she had like, you know, black gums and very just husky, terribly built, just you know, scares you. All right, but she gives them some type of, you know, she tells them a story like, oh, this man did this and done that, and it's usually a very like off-key, villainous way to interpret the story. But it basically, because the women are in such oppression anyway, they get hyped up and they lose their minds totally, and they go and they wreak havoc upon that male, and they whoop his ass, all right, because they take all their frustrations out on him. And that's what this reminds me of. That's what her audience wanted. They needed Erykah Badu to join in the handmaiden's brutal beating, crucifixion of R. Kelly. And when she didn't do so, they lost their mind. They lost their minds. All right, and that's the problem. All right, and that's what Erykah Badu is honestly going through. All right, because again, like I talked about earlier, a fan of someone, you should never be a fan of someone. It's okay for you to like their music. It's okay for you to like their contributions to society, as far as, you know, the other little things they do on the side, you know, that they get media attention for, which basically, you know, I'm not gonna say it's disingenuous, but usually it adds on to the brand of what they're doing with their other works. All right, but when you look at these people in a higher light than you see yourself, because that's what you do when you fan. You can't fan down. You can't fan straight ahead. You have to fan up. This person has to be above you. All right. Especially, I mean, think about its reaction. If you look down on somebody, you would expect stuff like this out of them. All right. No, it's when you looking up at somebody and then their perspective doesn't match yours, then they're leveled down, and then you start to become, you know, that love turns into hate, and that's exactly what's happening in Erykah's case. All right, which is again why you should never, ever, 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 ever idolize people. Don't set yourself up for this. I remember watching or reading something a while back about Michael Jordan and rapper Chamillionaire. All right, Chamillionaire. I think you see me rolling, they hating, patrolling, they trying to catch me riding dirty. That's his song, right? He met Michael Jordan, which was his idol. He had all the shoes, and watched him growing up, and the posters and all that stuff. And Michael Jordan, he found out, he looked at him like, hey man, who is this nigga that y'all have around me? Taking pictures. I don't take pictures with niggas. And that broke his heart. All right, but again, you set yourself up for that. You should have just liked the shoes, liked the way he played the game, and left it at that. But when he becomes his deity, when Erykah Badu becomes his deity, you set yourself up for this. And again, like I say, honestly, her response goes with her brand. Erykah Badu is like the mother goddess, right? She's supposed to be like Mother Teresa, like black woman is God. But if a black woman is going to be God, right? Let's just put it like this. If we are going to go with that perspective of black woman is God, then God is in the Bible. It say God is a merciful God and God is a forgiving God. You just have to go to him and ask, or go to him, right, and ask to be forgiven. But in this case, right, if the black woman is God, you should supposed to go to black woman God and ask for forgiveness, and you should be granted this. But no, because when she does that, look what happens. Which is not crazy also, because think about it, right? The holy person, the person who wears the crown, their head is always the one that gets chopped off. Jesus was crucified, right? I mean, that's just the way it works. Just the way it works. But again, Erykah Badu is a person. She shouldn't be seen in that light anyway. But again, her response goes with her brand. All right. But my next point, my very next point, is what does the fans, these black women, and these women, because I believe it was predominantly black women, but you know, other women like Erykah Badu's music too, because they seem to think, or it does come across that she does have more of a pro woman angle on her product. But again, their reaction to this whole situation regarding R. Kelly, in confliction with her views, what does it say about them? And here's where I soften it, right? Because I always like to try to play the devil's advocate, man. Because again, here at Wisely Confused, the goal is to become a wise person. Always strive and always trying to become a better you. But understanding that in that path, you will have confusion, because there is confusion existing. You have to unlearn a lot of things that you once learned, and that's a very debilitating, confusing process in itself. And understand that you might be sorely mistaken. All right, so I might be sorely mistaken in this, right? So hopefully you give me a little cushion to be wrong. But here's what I think. I think many of their fans have gone through their own traumas as far as with men in general. Similar to, this R. Kelly shit is like a circus. I mean, it's really a whole different level. So I can't say that maybe, if this has happened to you, you were in some type of sex cult, and but a lot of young women have been violated by a lot of sick men, and they see their pain, they see their interpretation of what happened through the lens of what's going on with R. Kelly at the moment, and they unable to get many of the revenge or the payback that they would want on their intruders. They want to see that inflicted through R. Kelly. Many of the same way I talked about the Handmaid's Tale, with you have these oppressed women going through this. Anything that looks to be similar to what they're going through or what have going through needs to be decapitated in a very demonic group way. All right, because like what they say, with 2, 3, 4, you add power to it, and it becomes more of like a ceremonial thing, and that's what's happening right now with R. Kelly. This is a ceremonial execution of his character, of his brand, and at some level, him as a person. I mean, because he's possibly going to go to jail. I mean, he's probably going to go to jail. They taking down his music. They're doing a lot of things, man. And again, growing up in Chicago, man, it's still very interesting because this happened 20 years ago. I remember the South Side YMCA, where R. Kelly grew up in that area, not too far away from Kenwood, not too far away from High Park Academy. All right, not too far from that McDonald's where my man like to hang out at on some weirdo level stuff. Right? They had a whole collage. Used to go in there. It looked like an R. Kelly pop-up shop. Like it was R. Kelly memorabilia everywhere, posters, stuff signed. And when that happened, all that came down. It was like you walked into like a newly renovated place. So again, this happened a long time ago. But like, this is another level, man. It's another level now. He's getting ready to go, for good. All right, it's gonna be a example. And I always say this too, and I always wonder about this. Again, I might be sorely mistaken also, but I think things like this need to be handled within the community, because when you give the access to this to the media at large, they paint the picture, they control the rhetoric, they control the narrative, and that narrative can quickly be flipped and used as a tool in the affliction of the whole community at large. Yeah, I mean, innocent, and think about this, you also have to remember this, man. When things like this start to happen, innocent people start going down, because that's what they want at the end of the day. They want everybody. But you have to create things, you have to create laws, you have to create, it's a system, right? You have to create systematic reasons in order to carry out these things, so that people won't be like, oh, you can't just, otherwise people, it would be like a outcry. All right. But I think it says about them, though. I think it says that they have a lot of issues. They have a lot of things that they haven't tackled, because they have the inability yet to forgive. And forgiveness a lot of times is a hard process. I mean, myself, I'm included. I'm guilty of this. It's hard to forgive, especially depending upon the way that you see it, because it's not about the way, think about this, it's not about what actually happened in many situations. It's not about what happened. It's about how that person sees what happened. All right, so that takes time. It takes work. It takes therapy. It takes your own therapy. All right, it takes being able to avoid medication or self-medicating, especially, in order to get through it. And I think that Erykah Badu is a woman. I don't know. She strikes me as a woman who has done a lot of work. We don't know. I wonder what Erykah Badu. I would like her to come out, and hopefully she will. She probably will be dragged out. She has to come out. The publicists, they probably create her tour, her go around Breakfast Club, Hot 90, Ebro in the morning. She probably gonna go around and talk because she has to. I would think so. Probably not. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I might be sorely mistaken with that also. But I think it says though that you have to pray. You know what I mean? Even the people, I've been done wrong by people. And you got to pray for them. Because what's God say? God takes care of them, man. And, if you don't believe in God, it's still karma. What goes around comes around. People get theirs, Because, again, when people do stuff to us, I don't know. You never know what people are coming from. That's what they always tell us when we kids, right? You step out the house, be wary of your surroundings and of people because you never know what that person's going through. You just see the out body, but the mind is the thing that drives the person. You don't know what's going on with these people, what they've been through, right? But my last interesting thing about Erykah, like I say, it always struck, and it depends on how you view it, but it struck out to me that she has I think a baby with Outkast, with Andre 3000, Jay Electronica, and somebody else, if I'm not mistaken, guy from the Fugees maybe. But she always seemed to have a healthy relationship with them, and the fact that I don't agree with any of that, because I'm like, man, if I'm in the music industry, if I'm in any industry, and I know that a woman has dated another brother in my industry, that's a no-no, because I don't want to share that. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But that comes with maturity and as a personal preference. Again, but it was also very interesting to me. I remember Jay Electronica popped up one time. She was on the Breakfast Club, right? And he was very protective of Erykah. And I remember a story of Currency talking about it. Him, because Jay Electronica schools Currency, rapper Currency. If you don't know who Currency is an underground rapper. He's very good, man. Check him out, man. Hot spitter. Shout out. But he talked about how Jay Electronica popped up with Erykah. Jay Electronica, he has his baby with her, his child with her. They're not together. We know how a lot of those situations are in the black community. We know how that is. Usually people aren't on speaking terms, or they're on good terms. A lot of legal issues come into play, a lot of family issues come into play with that. But here she is, and here this guy is, and he's sticking up for her like they're together, even though they're not together. So that was very telling of who Erykah Badu may be. Again, you never know the whole story, so I'll never just I'm not quick to throw a ribbon on people, because you'll be let down. But that's very telling, again, of who she might be. And it might be that she's very forgiving. Because, why would you not be with any of these men? Or maybe something about her. Again, I don't know. Maybe something about her. But, again, usually people fall out. And that's the thing. And they stay in a fallout situation, which affects the kids and affects everybody when they aren't able to get together. When they aren't able to forgive each other and find some common ground. So that says a lot about her. So when she makes this statement on stage, it's not like, oh, okay, she's taking up for R. Kelly. It's like this kind of goes with Erykah Badu's brand. And when you choose to be an Erykah Badu quote unquote fan, you can't choose what she says. You can't choose what she stands for, what she gets behind. You can't applaud her on one side and dismiss her on the other side. You gotta say, hey, that's Erykah. That's just who she is. And you might just have to pray for Erykah. Right? If you feel at the end of the day, if you feel any type of way outside of that, you might just have to pray for Erykah. Alright? So I'm gonna leave it at that, man. And that's just my wisely confused opinion upon that. All right, let me know how you feel about that. All right, if you like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. If you have another, opinion of it, comment. Don't forget to subscribe either way, though. so you can get more content and, you know, join the discussion, man. Join the family of Wisely Confused, Sorely Mistaken. All right. Yeah. What she do? What would any good person do? Erykah, what did you tell him to do? When things get wrong in your life, what should you do? When you go outside and they stole your car, you should. When you get fired, you should. When your government check ain't came in, all right, and just be cool. Just keep, yeah. I'm gonna make a mix of that, man. I'm gonna do some type of poetry. Hey, I do poetry also, guys. All right, if you haven't checked it out, I got one there now called Drummer's Girl. All right, that's my poetry. All right, so go check it out, man. I'll tell you more about it if you like it, man. We're gonna start discussing it. All right, but if you like this video again, yeah, don't forget to like it and all that. But until next time, man, I'm out.